before diving in? Sounds good. Let me know when you're
Assalamu
ready.
alaikum everyone. This is Amina Education Valley from Rehan AI Teacher Training Program Level 1. I'm batch 19 student. Today, very interesting topic, the importance of empathy in leadership and teamwork. So we are going to talk with the chatbot on this topic. We have a chatbot Maya with us. So let's get started. Hello Maya.
Hey, Amina. Nice to meet everyone listening in. Empathy and leadership and teamwork, huh?
Yeah,
That's a good
okay.
one. Yeah,
Tell
seems like a
me
lot of folks.
Tell me what is empathy in leadership and teamwork?
Okay, so basically, empathy in leadership isn't just about being nice, though that helps. It's about genuinely understanding what your team members are feeling, seeing things from their perspective, and using that understanding to guide your decisions. In teamwork, it's the ability to connect with colleagues on a human level, appreciate their contributions, and navigate conflicts constructively. It's kind of the glue that keeps things running smoothly, I know?
Okay, why it is important?
All right, so why bother with all this understanding feeling stuff? Well, a ton of reasons. For starters, empathetic leaders tend to build stronger relationships with their teams. People are way more likely to be engaged and motivated when they feel understood and valued. It also boosts psychological safety, meaning folks feel comfortable taking risks and speaking up without fear of judgment. Plus, it's pretty key for effective conflict resolution. If you can actually see where someone else is coming from, you're more likely to find a solution that works for everyone. Basically, it just makes for a happier, more productive environment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Oh,
Good.
how does
So,
empathy improve team communication?
okay, so empathy kind of unlocks a whole new level of communication. When you're genuinely trying to understand where someone's coming from, you actually listen differently. You're less likely to interrupt, more likely to ask clarifying questions, and better at picking up on nonverbal cues, body language, and stuff. It also encourages more open and honest dialogue because people feel safer sharing their thoughts and feelings. Basically, it shifts the focus from I need to be heard to let's understand each other. It's less talking at each other and more talking with each other, if that makes sense.
Why do empathetic leaders build stronger trust?
That's a good question. Um, Trust is built on feeling safe and understood, right? Empathetic leaders consistently demonstrate that they care about their team's well being, not just their output. When you show people you genuinely see them, acknowledge their struggles, and celebrate their wins, they start to believe you have their back. It's like, okay, this person isn't just here to push me, they're actually invested in my success. That kind of vulnerability from a leader creates a ripple effect, encouraging team members to be more vulnerable themselves and fostering deeper connection. It feels less hierarchical and more human. Does that land?
Okay. How can empathy reduce conflicts in teams?
Conflicts are inevitable, right? But empathy can stop them from blowing up. When disagreements happen, an empathetic response involves actively trying to understand the other person's perspective, even if you don't agree with it. Instead of immediately defending your position, you're asking questions like, help me understand why you see it that way. That shift can de escalate things quickly. It shows the other person you're willing to listen, and it opens the door for finding common ground. It's about focusing on the underlying needs and concerns instead of just getting stuck on the surface level issue. Basically, it turns potentially damaging confrontations into opportunities for growth and understanding.
Why does understanding emotions improve decision making?
Okay, this one's interesting. So, um, a lot of people think good decision making is purely logical, but emotions play a huge role, even if we don't realize it. Understanding your own emotions and the emotions of others gives you a more complete picture of the situation. It helps you anticipate how different decisions will impact people and avoid choices that might have unintended negative consequences. It's also about recognizing biases. We all have them, and making sure your decisions aren't being clouded by your own feelings. Plus, let's be real, people are more likely to buy into a decision if they feel like their concerns have been considered. It's just smarter leadership, basically.
How can leaders practice empathy daily at work?
All right, practical stuff. Good question. It's not about grand gestures, honestly. It's the small things. Regularly checking in with team members, not just about work, but how they're doing generally, actively listening during meetings, and really trying to hear what people are saying, not just waiting for your turn to talk. Asking clarifying questions, acknowledging people's feelings, even if you don't agree with them, and being vulnerable yourself, sharing your own challenges and mistakes. It's also about practicing perspective taking, actively imagining what it's like to be in someone else's shoes. Basically, it's about making a conscious effort to connect with people on a human level every day. It takes work, but it's worth it.
Why do teams perform better when they feel understood?
Okay, think about it. When you feel understood, you feel safe, right? And when you feel safe, you're more willing to take risks, share ideas, and put in extra effort. It frees up mental bandwidth. You're not constantly worrying about being judged or misunderstood. People are more engaged, more creative, and more collaborative. They're more likely to go the extra mile because they feel valued and respected. It creates a positive feedback loop. Understanding leads to trust, trust leads to engagement, and engagement leads to better performance. It's just basic human psychology, honestly. People thrive when they feel like they belong and that their contributions matter.
Okay. How does empathy influence team motivation?
All right. So motivation isn't just about carrots and sticks, right? It's about feeling a sense of purpose and connection. Empathetic leaders tap into that. When you understand what truly motivates your team members, their values, their goals, their fears, you can tailor your approach to inspire them. You can provide opportunities for growth and development that align with their interests. You can offer support when they're struggling. It shows you see them as individuals, not just cogs in a machine. That kind of recognition and support fosters a sense of loyalty and commitment, and ultimately a more motivated team. It's about fueling their inner fire, not just cracking the whip.
How can empathy improve listening skills?
It's a good one. It's a two-way street, really. Empathy isn't just a feeling, it's an active skill, and it directly improves listening. When you approach a conversation with genuine empathy, you're less focused on formulating your response and more focused on truly hearing what the other person is saying. You're paying attention to their body language, their tone of voice, and the emotions behind their words. You're asking clarifying questions, not to challenge them, but to understand them better. It's about suspending your own judgments and biases and trying to see the world through their eyes. It turns passive hearing into active understanding. It's really about wanting to connect instead of just wanting to be right.
Okay. How can leaders show empathy without losing authority?
This is a common concern, right? People worry showing empathy will make them look weak. But it's not about being a pushover, it's about being human. You can be empathetic and still hold firm boundaries. It's about separating the person from the behavior. You can say, I understand you're frustrated and I appreciate you sharing that with me, but we still need to meet this deadline. It's acknowledging their feelings without compromising your expectations. It's also about being consistent and fair, treating everyone with respect, regardless of their position or personality. It's about leading with humanity, not with an iron fist. It actually builds more respect because people know you're a real person who cares, but you're also someone who can make tough decisions.
Mhm. How can empathy help manage diverse teams?
Okay, huge question. Diversity is amazing, but it also means a wider range of perspectives, experiences, and communication styles. Empathy is crucial for navigating that complexity. It allows you to understand how cultural differences might influence someone's behavior or communication. It helps you avoid making assumptions and recognize unconscious biases. It fosters a sense of inclusivity, where everyone feels valued and respected for who they are. It's about creating a safe space for people to share their unique perspectives and contribute their best work, even if those perspectives differ from your own. Essentially, empathy is the key to unlocking the full potential of a diverse team. It transforms differences from potential conflicts into sources of strength and innovation.
Okay. How does empathy improve feedback conversation?
Okay, so feedback is tough for everyone. Empathy can make it so much better, though. Instead of just launching into what someone did wrong, an empathetic approach starts with acknowledging their effort and perspective. You frame the feedback as a way to help them grow, not to criticize them. You focus on specific behaviors, not personal attacks. And you deliver the feedback with compassion and understanding. Basically, it's about creating a safe space for vulnerability and learning. When people feel understood, they're much more likely to actually hear the feedback and take it to heart. It changes the dynamic from adversarial to collaborative. You're not telling them what they did wrong, you're helping them reach their full potential. It's a small shift in mindset, but a huge difference in outcome.
Okay, how can empathy be developed as a leadership skill?
Okay, so empathy isn't necessarily something you're just born with, it's a skill you can actively cultivate. One thing is practicing active listening, really paying attention to what people are saying and how they're saying it. Another is seeking out diverse perspectives, talking to people from different backgrounds, reading books, watching documentaries. Also, try perspective taking exercises, intentionally imagining yourself in someone else's shoes. Mindfulness and self reflection can also help you become more aware of your own emotions, which makes it easier to understand the emotions of others. It also takes practice and being willing to step outside of your comfort zone. It's about challenging your own assumptions and biases and being open to new ways of seeing the world. It's a journey, not a destination, you know? It requires consistent effort and a genuine desire to connect with others.
How does empathy support mental well being at work?
Huge question, really important one. A workplace lacking empathy can be brutal on mental health. Empathetic leadership creates a psychologically safe environment where people feel comfortable being themselves, sharing their struggles, and asking for help. It reduces stress and anxiety because people feel supported and understood. It fosters a sense of belonging and connection, which is vital for well being. It also normalizes vulnerability, letting people know it's okay to not be okay. When leaders model empathy, it encourages team members to do the same, creating a culture of compassion and support. It's about recognizing that people are whole humans, not just workers, and their mental well being is just as important as their productivity. It fundamentally shifts the focus from getting things done to caring for the people who get things done. It's kind of foundational.
Why is empathy critical in remote or hybrid teams?
Okay, so remote and hybrid work create extra challenges for connection, right? You lose those casual water cooler moments and face-to-face interactions where you can pick up on nonverbal cues. Empathy becomes even more crucial in these settings. You have to be more intentional about reaching out, checking in, and actively listening. It's easy for misunderstandings to occur when communication is primarily digital. So empathy helps bridge those gaps. It also helps build trust and rapport when you're not physically present with your team. You have to create those connections deliberately, and empathy is the foundation for doing that. It's about making a conscious effort to see beyond the screen and recognize the whole person and their unique circumstances. It means over communicating, being patient, and prioritizing genuine connection. It's seriously vital for keeping remote teams engaged and thriving.
Okay, thank you so much, Maya. That's wonderful information. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Amina. Glad I could help. Always a good conversation. Anything else on your mind today?
No, thank you.
Oh, all right. Have a good one.